event, the gala, the ball, whatever it is they're calling it, for the coast's best of Halifax. And I'm gonna go to it. Actually, Angela and I are both gonna go to it. And I don't really know how to get ready for an event like this, or like how to dress, how to be fashionably late. Not that it's a big deal. To be totally honest with you, the place we got for the category that we're in is actually just a drop in the bucket of what all of the best of Halifax is for the coast. But to me, it's very exciting. And to all my friends who also won something, it's a pretty big deal too. So for everyone in Halifax who ended up winning something or got voted into a podium spot like we did, it's awesome. But even better news for all of you who don't live in Halifax, on this bike, the tan wheels are back. I even dressed up to match it. Oh, this train coming is not good. I'm gonna be late. Really like this bike, and I mean, that's kind of an awkward segue to get into this, like, this topic, this subject that I kind of want to do a locked off shot on. I wasn't really sure how to do it without just like kind of butchering the segue. So we're going to talk about my bikes now, and then we'll talk about the ball again. I know, it's sort of a weird way to organize a vlog. Alright, first, for this middle portion, this discussion portion of the vlog, I want to talk about my bikes. And more specifically, I want to talk about how I want to simplify the amount of bikes that I have. Because as a lot of you know, I do have a fair amount of bikes in my basement, I guess we'll say. In fact, I have 8. And I know we all kind of like to follow that mantra that like more bikes is better, and that N+1 rule. And while I do love that rule, I've slowly but surely started to realize that maybe the amount of bikes I have is purely to try and look cool, and not so much because I need them or well, I do want them. I wouldn't have bought them. But to put it a little more simply, I think what I've started to realize is that I have all these bikes purely because I had access to them. And if there's anything I've noticed over the course of the last year and making these videos is the most common thing that comes up and that I talk about is that you can use a cross bike or a gravel bike as a lot of different bikes. And the thing that's making me think of it is the fact that I put those smooth big tires back on the Tri-Cross, and it makes me realize how much I love riding it as a big tire comfy road bike, and knowing that I can go off-road with it at pretty well any time, because it's the bike that I use for that. So right now I currently have a carbon road bike, an aluminum road bike, a aluminum cross bike, that one, the aluminum cross bike race bike, which is a Crux. I have my BMX. I've got 2 fixed gears, the purple one and the silver one still. I have a cross-country mountain bike and a all-mountain mountain bike. I have 9 bikes. That's more than I thought. Now, what I've been thinking about doing lately is simplifying the fleet of bikes that I have right now, for no other reason than to save space and help pay off some of the bills I have, because I don't necessarily need this many bikes. I haven't even ridden my actual road bike since the last road race I did, and that was probably in June. I didn't even touch that bike other than to make it look cool or take a picture of it to put on Instagram, because I've been having way more fun with those bikes. There's never a time that I'm on a cross bike wishing that I was on a road bike so that I could ride faster. Sure, the gearing is a little different, but the things I'm doing, it doesn't really matter. Now, one of the things that I didn't really take into account when I decided to buy each consecutive bike that I bought was the amount that it was going to cost to actually maintain all of them. And even though I work in a bike shop, I really didn't realize, you know, how quickly repairing drivetrains on 6 different 10-speed bikes was going to add up to. Those narrow chains, they don't last very long, and they really don't like to be worn out too deep. And I've gotten away with doing some pretty gross things to the Tricross because I can kind of do whatever I want. But the way I see it, and I've said this a million times, and I'll continue to say it, I could probably get everything I need out of that silver bike that I have set up right now as I get out of my cross race bike and both my road bikes. So I kind of want to get rid of those 3 bikes. Well, I say that, but I'm pretty terrified to actually take that step. Okay, so all of that mostly just as an excuse for me to be able to shoot more video of this bike, because it looks really cool when it's dirty, and it has tan walls on it now, and I just want to show it off, and I needed like a good excuse to make like a 30-second, you know, edit of it, because I really like showing it off. Yeah, this stuff. I've never mastered it, but the best part about putting the cinematic lines and like putting a bit of a filter on top of footage is it seems to really kind of soften it up and hide all the shakes. So if that turned out half decent, then there's a good chance that the scene just before this actually looks half decent. So that being the excuse for the gratuitous amounts of footage I wanted to take of that, the day is over. You can see that it is dark out. So now it's time to get home, get ready for tonight's, I like to call it an event because I don't really want to call it a ball. It just seems weird. If I'm lucky, I might catch the ferry. I really want to ride home in the rain. Without much drama. Should probably do something about my hair.